You spent decades building your savings. Every paycheck, every sacrifice, every smart decision brought you here. But today, scammers are working overtime, targeting seniors like never before. And if you're not careful, a lifetime of hard work can disappear in an instant. Let me tell you about Janet. At 68 years old, Janet thought she was making one smart move to protect her future. Instead, she lost everything. Her entire nest egg gone. One phone call, one trusted voice. And just like that, a lifetime of savings vanished. Janet's story could happen to anyone. That's why it's so important to recognize the warning signs before it's too late. I'm Lewis, and this is Better Aging Advice for Elderly, where real stories meet real solutions to help you live stronger, smarter, and more secure through every chapter of life. If you're serious about protecting yourself and your family, hit that subscribe button right now. Together, we'll make sure your golden years stay golden and your hard-earned money stays exactly where it belongs, with you. 1. The power of trust. Janet's nightmare began with a simple phone call. A man with a calm, professional voice told her he was from her bank's security department. He said there had been some suspicious activity on her account and that he needed to verify a few details to protect her. At first, it sounded legitimate. After all, he knew her full name, her address, even her bank's name. Janet wanted to believe she was talking to someone who was there to help her. And that's exactly how scammers work. They know how to sound trustworthy. They know the right words, the right tone, the little bits of personal information that make you let your guard down. They build a relationship of trust in minutes, making you feel like they're on your side. But here's the truth. They aren't after your account numbers. They're after something far more valuable, your trust. Once they have that, getting the rest becomes easy. That's why it's so important to be skeptical, even when someone sounds official. A real bank will never ask you to confirm sensitive information over the phone, especially if they called you first. If you ever get a call like this, hang up. Call your bank directly using the number on the back of your debit card, not the number the caller gives you. Trust is earned. Don't give it away to a stranger on the phone, no matter how convincing they sound. Janet's story is heartbreaking, but it's also a wake-up call for all of us. When it comes to your money and your future, trust has to be verified every single time. 2. Too good to be true. Trust your instincts. After the first call, Janet thought the worst was behind her. She was cautious. She even told herself she wouldn't share any more information with strangers. But scammers are patient. They don't give up after one try. A few days later, Janet got another call, this time with a voice that felt even more reassuring. This man wasn't warning her about danger. He was offering her an opportunity. He said he worked with a special branch of her bank's investment department. He praised her savings habits and said she had been personally selected for an exclusive investment offer. Low risk, guaranteed high returns. A way to double her money quickly and easily. To someone like Janet, who had always dreamed of traveling more and helping her grandchildren with college, it sounded like a blessing. She deserved a break. She wanted to believe this was real. But when she asked for paperwork or details, the caller brushed it off. "This is time sensitive," he said. "We'll send everything after you commit. You have to act now, or the opportunity will pass." No paperwork, no clear company name, no time to think. Everything about it should have been a red flag. But when you're offered something you desperately want, it's easy to quiet that little voice inside that says, "Wait a second." Here's what we all need to remember. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. There are no guaranteed, no risk, high return investments. Real investments involve risk, clear documentation, and time to consider your options. Real banks and institutions don't pressure you. They encourage you to ask questions and make informed decisions. If someone is rushing you, flattering you, or making you feel like you're lucky to get the offer, it's a scam. If there's no written information, walk away. If they ask for secrecy, walk away. Your instincts are a powerful shield. When something feels off, Listen to that feeling. Janet wanted so badly to believe in something good. She ignored the warning bells. It cost her everything. You've spent a lifetime being wise, careful, and patient. Don't let anyone rush you into giving it all away. 3. High-pressure tactics. Scammers know exactly how to create a sense of urgency. They don't want you to think. They want you to react. Fast decisions mean fewer questions, and that's exactly what they're counting on. When Janet got the call about the so-called investment opportunity, the man on the other end didn't give her time to think it over. He made it sound like she was incredibly lucky, that this offer wasn't available to just anyone. But there was a catch. She had to decide right now. No time to call her daughter. No time to ask a trusted friend. No time to sleep on it. This offer expires in 1 hour, he told her. If you wait, it's gone. Janet's heart raced. She didn't want to lose the chance to secure her future. And that's exactly how high-pressure tactics work. They hijack your emotions. They make you afraid of missing out. They make you feel foolish if you hesitate. They create a false sense of scarcity to push you into making a rushed decision you'll regret. Let's be clear. Any real investment, financial opportunity, or important decision should give you time to think. Legitimate companies want you to take your time, ask questions, and consult with others. Anyone who pressures you to act immediately is not looking out for your best interests. They're looking out for themselves. If you ever feel rushed, panicked, or pressured, that is a major red flag. It doesn't matter if it's on the phone, by email, at your front door, or even in person. Real opportunities don't come with ultimatums. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to say, "I need to think about it." You are allowed to hang up the phone. You are allowed to walk away. Janet later told me she wished she had listened to that tiny voice in her head that told her something didn't feel right. But in the moment, the pressure was overwhelming. You've earned the right to make decisions at your own pace. Never let anyone take that away from you. Slow down, breathe, and remember, when someone tries to rush you, it's usually because they don't want you to see the truth. 4. No personal connection. When Janet spoke to the man on the phone, something felt a little off, but she couldn't quite put her finger on it. He was polite. He was professional, but he was also distant. There were no real questions about her. No conversations about her goals, her family, her life story. It was all about the money, all about urgency, all about making the transaction happen. That's another tactic scammers use, impersonality. They don't want a real relationship with you. They don't want to understand your needs or help you build a plan that fits your life. They want to keep it cold, fast, and transactional, because real connection gives you time to think, to ask questions, and to trust your instincts. Janet realized later that the man never asked about her retirement plans. He didn't know she loved gardening. He didn't know about her dream to travel across the country in an RV. He didn't even know if she had children or grandchildren to support. He didn't care. And that's the difference. Real financial advisors, real banks, real professionals, they take the time to get to know you. They listen. They ask questions about your goals, your fears, your future plans. They treat you like a person, not a transaction. If you're speaking to someone who seems more interested in rushing you than knowing you, that's a red flag. If you feel like just a number, not a human being, that's a warning. If they discourage you from talking to family members or seeking a second opinion, that's a giant stop sign. You are not alone. You have people who care about you. And any major financial decision should involve your support system, your family, your trusted friends, your longtime advisors. Janet's biggest regret wasn't just losing her savings. It was that she didn't reach out for a second opinion. She didn't talk to her daughter, or her neighbor, or her banker. Scammers want to separate you from the people who would protect you. Don't let them. Stay connected. Talk things through. Because when you lean on the people who care about you, it's a lot harder for anyone to lead you astray. 5. Too many questions, not enough answers. When Janet first heard about the so-called opportunity, a few questions floated through her mind. How exactly does this investment work? Where is the company located? What are the risks involved? But when she asked, the man on the phone gave answers that sounded polished, but didn't actually say anything. He spoke in circles. He used lots of impressive words, but no real details. Every time she pushed for more information, he would compliment her. "You're smart to ask, Janet. That's exactly why you've been selected for this exclusive offer." Flattery instead of facts. Confusion instead of clarity. That's how scammers operate. In any real, legitimate business deal, questions are welcomed. Good advisors love questions. Good companies are transparent. They want you to understand everything before you move forward. But scammers? They avoid specifics. They dodge tough questions. They turn the conversation back onto you, making you feel foolish, impatient, or even rude for wanting more information. Janet trusted the friendly voice on the phone and ignored her growing discomfort. She thought, maybe I'm overthinking this. But looking back, she realized the truth. The more questions she asked, the fewer real answers she got. Here's a simple rule. If you can't get clear, direct, and documented answers to your questions, walk away. If someone makes you feel bad for asking tough questions, walk away. If you ask for written proof and they stall or avoid it, walk away. You deserve full transparency. You deserve to understand exactly where your money is going, how it's being used, and who is handling it. Asking questions isn't rude. It isn't inconvenient. It's necessary, and it's your right. Scammers thrive in confusion. They hope you'll get tired of asking. They hope you'll give up and just say yes. Don't. Janet learned the hard way that silence isn't golden, it's dangerous. If you're being pushed to trust without proof, that's your cue to slow down, dig deeper, and, if needed, say no. Trust is earned, never rushed, and real answers should never be hard to find. 6. Check your bank and credit reports regularly. After Janet agreed to the so-called investment, she didn't think to check her accounts right away. She trusted that everything was fine. But while she was living her daily life, the scammers were slowly draining her savings, one small withdrawal at a time. At first, it was just a few odd charges. $50 here, $100 there. Amounts small enough that they didn't scream danger. Amounts small enough that they slipped past unnoticed. That's a trick scammers use. They start small. They test the waters to see if you're paying attention. If you don't catch the small leaks, they get bolder. By the time Janet realized something was wrong, tens of thousands of dollars were already gone. This is why it's absolutely critical to check your bank and credit statements regularly. Not once a year, not when you remember, every single month. Look at every transaction, even the small ones. Ask yourself, did I authorize this? Do I recognize this company? Does this charge make sense? And if something looks even slightly suspicious, don't wait. Call your bank immediately. It's far easier to stop a scam early than to recover money once it's been stolen. Also, make it a habit to check your credit reports a few times a year. You can request free credit reports from all 3 major agencies: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Look for accounts you don't recognize. Look for loans or credit cards you didn't open. Identity theft can happen silently, and the sooner you catch it, the better. Remember, protecting your finances isn't a one-time action. It's an ongoing habit. Just like you lock your doors at night without thinking, you should check your financial doors regularly, too. Janet later said she wished she had been more vigilant. "If I had looked sooner," she said, "I might have saved what was left." You deserve peace of mind. You deserve to know exactly where your money is and where it's going. Don't be afraid to check. Don't be afraid to question. Your savings are the result of a lifetime of hard work, and they're worth protecting every single day. 7. Sharing too much information. When Janet picked up the phone that day, she thought she was talking to someone she could trust, someone from her bank. The caller was friendly, polite, and professional. He reassured her that they were just verifying her information for her safety. So when he asked for her social security number, she gave it. When he asked for her bank account number, she gave that, too. It all felt so normal, so routine, like something she needed to do to keep her money safe. But that's exactly how scammers work. They create a false sense of security. They convince you that giving away your personal information is not just okay, but necessary. The truth is, no real bank, government agency, or reputable company will ever call you out of the blue and ask for sensitive information. Not your social security number, not your full bank account number, not your credit card numbers. Sharing too much, even seemingly harmless information, opens the door to identity theft and financial scams. Here's a simple rule. If you didn't initiate the call, don't give out personal information. If they say they're from your bank, hang up and call the official number on the back of your debit card. If they claim to be from the IRS, Social Security Administration, or Medicare, know this: they will never ask for your full details over a cold call. Janet later realized she hadn't asked the caller for any proof of identity. She hadn't verified who he was. She trusted the voice on the line because it sounded official. But sounding official and being official are two very different things. If you ever feel pressured to give out private information, stop. Take a breath. Say, "I'll call back on the official number." Then hang up. No legitimate organization will punish you for wanting to be cautious. Janet told me one of the hardest parts of her story wasn't just losing the money. It was the feeling of betrayal. The realization that she had given her information away so willingly. Protect yourself by setting a hard boundary. Personal information stays personal unless you're 100% sure who you're talking to. Your name, your social security number, your bank details, they are the keys to your financial life. Guard them like you would your house keys or your most valuable possessions. Scammers can only steal from you if they have the tools. Don't hand them the keys. 8. The flattery game. When Janet talked to the scammer, she noticed something right away. He was incredibly flattering. "You're one of our most trusted clients. You've been hand-selected for this exclusive opportunity because of your excellent financial record. Honestly, Janet, you're exactly the type of person we want to work with. Smart, savvy, responsible." At first, it felt good to hear. Who doesn't like being praised? After a lifetime of hard work, saving, and doing the right thing, Janet felt seen, validated. But that's exactly what the scammer wanted. He wasn't complimenting Janet because she deserved it, although she absolutely did. He was doing it because he knew flattery lowers your defenses. Flattery makes you feel special. It makes you feel chosen. And when you feel chosen, you're more likely to trust without questioning. You're more likely to say yes without thinking too deeply. Scammers are experts at using emotions, especially pride, to cloud judgment. Here's the truth. Real financial institutions don't need to butter you up. They offer the same services to everyone, based on clear qualifications and transparent processes, not sweet talk and promises. If someone is pouring on compliments to get you to make a quick decision, be cautious. Ask yourself, are they giving me real information, or just making me feel good? Are they providing facts, or just flattery? Janet later admitted that deep down, she felt a little suspicious. Why would a stranger think I was so brilliant with money when they knew nothing about me? She wondered. But at the time, the praise felt so genuine that she pushed her doubts aside. Looking back, she realized the praise was the bait. The trap was what came after. Remember, true professionals respect you. They don't manipulate you. They show that respect through clear communication, not exaggerated compliments. They build trust with facts, not flattery. If you ever feel like someone is trying too hard to make you feel special, take a step back. Special opportunities shouldn't come with strings attached, and respect shouldn't have to be bought with words. You've earned every bit of your pride through years of hard work and wise decisions. Don't let someone use it against you. Janet's experience is a reminder. Flattery is sweet, but it can also be a warning bell. When someone is piling it on too thick, it's time to pause, question, and protect yourself. 9. No emotional support. When Janet got the call offering her a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, she didn't have anyone nearby to talk it through with. Her kids lived out of town. Her close friends were busy with their own lives. And she didn't want to bother anyone with what she thought was just a simple financial decision. So, she made the decision alone. And that's exactly what scammers count on. Isolation is one of their most powerful weapons. When you're alone, without someone to bounce ideas off of, you're more vulnerable to emotional manipulation. You don't have that second voice asking, Does this really make sense? Why are they rushing you? Why do they need your personal information? Scammers thrive when you're cut off from your emotional support network. Because when emotions are running high, when you're excited, flattered, or pressured, you're less likely to think critically. You're more likely to react quickly and regret it later. Janet later told me, if I had just called my daughter and told her what was happening, she would have spotted it right away. That one conversation could have saved her life savings. This is why it's absolutely crucial, especially when it comes to financial decisions, to never go it alone. Make it a habit. Before making any major financial move, talk to someone you trust. A family member, a good friend, even your financial advisor or banker, someone who has your best interest at heart. Say, here's what someone offered me. Does it sound right to you? Or, can you help me look into this before I make a decision? A second set of eyes, a second opinion. It can mean the difference between staying protected or becoming a target. And if you ever feel pressured to keep something secret or act quickly, that's an even bigger reason to slow down and reach out. Legitimate businesses encourage you to seek advice. They don't rush you or isolate you. Janet's story reminds us, you don't have to face these situations alone. In fact, you shouldn't. Connection is protection. Having someone to talk to doesn't just help your heart, it protects your wallet too. Your instincts matter. Your emotions matter. And your circle of trusted people, they might just save you from a life-changing mistake. Don't make big decisions in isolation. You deserve the wisdom, clarity, and strength that come from being supported. 10. No paper trail. When Janet agreed to the so-called special investment opportunity, everything happened over the phone and email. There were no official documents, no contracts to review, no receipts, no written proof of anything that was promised. And at the time, it didn't seem strange to her. The scammer was so confident, so professional sounding. He made it seem like paperwork would just slow things down or complicate the process. He told her, "We're expediting this for you. You're a preferred client. You'll get everything later." But later never came. That's the thing about real businesses versus scammers. Real businesses create a paper trail. Scammers avoid one. Whenever you make a financial transaction, whether it's opening an account, investing money, or even donating to a cause, you should receive official documentation, written agreements, detailed receipts, terms and conditions you can read and understand. Documentation protects both parties. It lays out expectations clearly. It gives you something to reference if there's ever confusion or a dispute. Scammers hate documentation because it holds them accountable. They prefer to keep everything verbal because words can disappear. Because when you realize you've been tricked, there's no evidence to fight back with. Here's the hard truth. If someone offers you a financial opportunity and tells you, you don't need paperwork, or we'll send you the documents after you pay, or this deal is too urgent for formalities, walk away. Ask yourself, where's the written agreement? Can I review it before committing? Can I have a copy for my records? And if they dodge those questions or give excuses, that's a flashing red light. Janet later said, "I was so caught up in the moment, I didn't even think to ask for anything in writing. But when things went wrong, she had no proof, no contract, no terms, no way to show what she was promised or by whom." It's heartbreaking, but it's also a lesson we can all learn from. Trust isn't built on promises alone. It's built on clear, transparent documentation that protects you. You deserve to see everything in writing before you hand over a penny. And remember, pressure to act fast without paperwork is a scammer's best friend. Slow down. Ask for documentation. Review it carefully. And if anything feels off, don't be afraid to say no. Protect yourself by demanding the same respect and professionalism you've earned after a lifetime of hard work. No paperwork, no deal. Have you ever found yourself in a situation like Janet's? Maybe you got a strange phone call that didn't sit right. Maybe you were offered a deal that felt a little too good to be true. Or maybe you've seen warning signs but weren't sure what to do. I want to hear from you. Your experience, your story, your advice. could be the very thing that protects someone else from falling into the same trap. So drop a comment below. Even if it's just a sentence or two, it matters more than you know. And if you're noticing any of the warning signs we talked about today, trust your instincts. Talk to someone you trust. Pause. Ask questions. Demand documentation. And most importantly, don't let anyone rush you into anything. You've worked hard your entire life to build your savings. You've sacrificed. You've planned carefully. You've weathered ups and downs. Don't let a scammer take it all away in one careless moment. Protecting your savings starts with one powerful thing: awareness. The more you know, the stronger you are. The more you share, the stronger your whole community becomes. So please, share this video with your family and friends. Help them spot the warning signs before it's too late. Because sometimes, one conversation is all it takes to save a lifetime of hard work. And if you found today's advice helpful, hit that like button. It helps more people find this information, and it tells me you want more videos like this. And of course, subscribe to Better Aging Advice for more real stories, real lessons, and real strategies to help you age smart, strong, and secure. You deserve to move into your later years with confidence, not fear. You deserve to know the signs, to have the tools, and to feel empowered to protect what you've built. Stay alert, stay informed, and take action before it's too late. Until next time, this is Lewis reminding you: keep growing, keep learning, and keep building your better aging plan, one smart decision at a time.